So, as per the decision taken by the postmaster to answer that letter, he opened the letter and he read the letter first. As after reading the letter, as soon as he opened the letter, he read the letter. He found one thing, that just to answer that letter, only pen and paper, only pen and paper were not required, but there was the requirement of something else, and it was the money which was demanded in that letter. So the postmaster actually thought that he is going to answer the letter, and the faith will not be shaken. That's enough. It will be a kind of help to that person also. But this time, postmaster was in a great dilemma. Answering the letter was not a big concern, but really collecting the monies, accumulating the money was a great matter of concern for the postmaster. So he was in a great dilemma what to do, just to answer that letter he had to collect 100 pesos. So he thought of a plan. He shared this particular thing, he shared this problem with his friends and employees, and he was successful in getting money, getting the part of getting some money from his friends and some from the employees, and he gave some part of his salary too. Accumulating all those, he was able to collect 70 pesos. And so, what he did, he put the entire 70 pesos in the letter and answered the letter, and that letter he wrote on the envelope from God. It means on behalf of God he answered the letter, but the name was written from God. So overall, in this way, the postmaster did a charitable thing. He did the charity. He answered the letter on behalf of God, and he was able to keep up the faith of Lencho. But the postmaster was quite, we can say, excited too, just because he wanted to see the response of the letter. So what happens next? Let us see. So the letter was answered. It was in that letter 70 pesos had been put by the postmaster as a response to the letter. Lencho, the following Sunday, Lencho came to the post office and he asked from the postman whether any letter from God had come for him or not. So the postman, as soon as Lencho reached over there, the postman handed him the letter and So the postmaster handed him the letter. The postman handed him the letter. The postmaster was in his office only, and from his chair he wanted to see the facial expression of Lencho, what his expression is, just to see those 70 pesos. So as soon as Lencho opened the letter, Lencho did not show extreme surprise. Actually, Lencho had such faith in God, had so much faith in God that he was actually not surprised to see those 70 pesos, as he was quite confident that yes, these pesos had to be sent by God, just because God has to look after me. So he did not show a bit of surprise just to see those 70 pesos, but on the contrary, Lencho became angry. Opening the letter, just after opening the letter and getting 70 pesos, Lencho became angry. And angry, his facial expression was not so good. He was not so elated. He was not so excited. Not very much happy. Became angry. Why? Because he had demanded 100 pesos and he had got only 70 pesos from God. So he was not very happy. So what he did, he went to he thought that once again he will write the letter, just because he was in he was in greatly need of those 30 pesos too. He wanted 100 pesos for the survival of his family, and he had got only 70. But 30 pesos had to be sent by God more. So for that sake, he wrote letter to God once again. He took the paper, he asked for the paper and pen from from the post office employee, and he started writing letter. He wrote the letter to God once again, that God, of the money that I demanded, of the 100 pesos that I demanded, you have sent me only 70 pesos, but I am in badly need of 30 more pesos. So please send me the rest of the amount that I had demanded as soon as possible, so that I can feed my family and I can come out of this situation. He added one more thing, which was ironical. He added one more thing, that please send the money not through mail but directly to me, as the post office employees are a bunch of crooks. So in this way, Lencho shows, we can say Lencho was not having any faith on this post office employees, and he thought that that God might have sent 100 pesos, but these post office employees would have taken out 30 pesos. So this time when he wrote the letter, he demanded for the rest of the money from God, and he told God also that these 30 pesos should be sent directly to him, not to the post office employees. This is what the irony of the situation. This is the ironical situation that comes at the end. Why is the irony here? Just because irony mean to say, Lencho thought that the post office employees have taken out the money, but the real situation was that those post office employees, the postmaster and the post office employees, had helped in accumulating those money, in gathering those money and collecting those money and giving it to Lencho. Actually, the post office employees had helped Lencho means in getting those pesos, in getting those 70 pesos, but Lencho thought it completely different. So this is the ironical situation that takes place at the end. This was the end of the letter to God, and we'll be discussing about the internal questions and the questions given in the book in the next class. Thank you.